Last time on Square Roots, things get kinky when we meet a naked man in chains, then watch a wing zaddy get totally penetrated. Later, we crack open a robot to find our dead love interest inside. If killing her off was fridging her is bringing her back refridging her, I guess that makes the robot a refrigerator.
Hey everyone, and welcome to Square Roots, the classic RPG podcast. My name is Jim Banks. I'm joined by Matthew Van Zandt.
Hello, it's me.
John, Mr. Video Games, Brandon.
I feel fine. Weird.
And Vanessa.
Hi, I'm Vanessa.
And this is a podcast where we play and talk about your favorite classic RPGs, one chunker at a time. And we are still playing Xenoblade Chronicles.
God, this game is so long. It's so long. I'm so tired.
This is a game.
Well, we have taken like 2 episodes off in the middle of it.
Yeah. We've had lots of breaks.
Thanksgiving and
we
New Year's.
We need it.
Wait, when?
Thanksgiving? New Year's.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Hey, Vanessa, in answer to your last time on, is it thawing the fridge?
Yeah, I was going to say that's like a defrost. But I get her
the joke
joke.
was really good.
Yeah.
And it was perfect
Fridge,
as is.
Okay,
And then
I mean, we wanted
No
to workshop
notes.
it with you a little bit after the fact.
Some notes.
You didn't. See, I'd believe that if you hadn't cut out all the groans and like rending your
Wow.
hair and yelling
cut all
about what
that
a
out.
terrible joke it was, as you
Jim
do
booed.
after every one of my last times that I worked so hard on.
Jim stood up and booed you.
Yeah, he did. And then he
did.
tried to say he was saying boo earns, and no one believes that.
No, none of us believe. He does it every week.
I stood up and voted for Donald Trump.
All right, John's off the podcast.
We agreed no politics tonight.
Listen, I know you all.
Okay.
I know you all are in a big hurry tonight, and you want to dive into the level up section, and I would like to go first. Because I have
That's
a
not what I want to
feeling-
do.
I have a feeling you're all going to talk about a movie about cannibalism.
Yeah.
Wait. I thought we were doing Jim's game, or is
Yeah,
that
I thought we
after
were going
the
to play a
level up?
game.
No, that's after the level up.
Yeah, he said
All right.
quest log. He said before the
Yeah.
quest log.
Okay.
I put it in the notes. Why don't you open your notes, suckers?
All right, I got it
My
open
note
right
is
here.
open.
Oh, we'll see where it says
Just
Jim
didn't
Game in
read
red.
it. Oh, yeah, I do
see it.
see that. Make it bigger
Make you bigger.
and change the font.
Bigger. That's my Stephen King knockoff.
No,
No.
put my game after level up.
Yeah,
No,
what
look,
are you
it's before
doing?
the level up.
You're a liar. A liar and a felon.
We are now messing around with a document.
Yep.
One of the
This
best
is
things
really
to do on a
good
podcast.
podcasting.
Yeah.
Like, listening
Thanks,
to it.
thanks, Google Docs.
Over the years, a lot of podcasters have gotten a lot better at this. Not us.
No, I think we
No.
peaked, and then, we peaked at Final Fantasy VII, maybe Kingdom Hearts 2, that era. But then COVID happened, and just downhill.
You think
just-
COVID would
podcasts
be
were
when
just
we
hanging
really?
on.
You think COVID would be when we really tightened it up? But no, we were all too goddamn depressed.
Yeah,
Alright,
that was
anyway.
the golden age of podcasting.
Here's Matt's
true.
fancy level up for all of your earballs to listen to. First of all, obviously, you can hear from my voice probably. I've been sick all week.
Oh,
Again.
buddy.
This is sick week part 2. And on top of that, I am on vacation this week. I spent my vacation in my bed, which isn't
That sounds
terrible.
awesome, actually.
Well, it's
Except
not
for the
awesome.
being sick
Yeah,
part.
when you got a fever.
Are you saying that's spending
That's
your
where
vacation
I want to
in
spend my vacation. Is in
Matthew's
Matt's
bed?
Yeah.
So that's a bummer. But I'm here. I'm sticking with it. And that's what it is. I played a game. A game that we've talked about playing for the show. And I got bored and just couldn't wait anymore. That's right. I played Trials of Mana.
It's so breezy.
It's so fucking
so
breezy. It's the breeziest
I
game I've
want
ever
to play
played.
it.
It is.
Yep,
I
I played
wanna
3
play
of the
it.
characters. There's 6 characters to choose from, so if it does end up being done on the show, I can just play the other 3 characters.
Is there a beefy boy?
No.
I don't think so.
No,
Damn
there's
it.
no beefy boys. There's some half-naked
No
women.
beef.
There's a child who speaks with a lot of
Ooh.
W stuff, which is really
Yeah,
fucking hard
wow.
to listen to.
Oof.
Really hard to listen to.
I think I'll play the original.
Now, is the
version.
original is this Seiken Densetsu 3?
Yeah.
It is. Okay.
Seiken
this is
Densetsu?
whatever. This is 3.
Yeah.
This is the third
Yeah.
one. The one I always
I'm
wanted
gonna
to play.
play
I played the 3D
3.
remake. I played the 3D remake. I finished the game this
What
week.
characters did you play as?
I
Werewolf?
chose my main character was red hair sword boy.
Me too.
I chose magician girl. Who,
Me too.
And I chose wolf boy. Yeah, wolf boy.
Me too.
The voice acting in the game was atrocious, and every line felt like it was being read directly off of a script, except for Angela, magician girl, who was, for some reason, an absolute delight. I don't know
I
what
agree
it was.
with you.
It was so weird.
Yeah.
She
It's the
was
least. It's the
amazing.
least cringy
It
voice
is.
acting.
She's fun. But anyway, I don't have a ton to say other than it's a really fun game. I hope we do it for the show one day. I'm glad I finally played it, though it was not the original. So maybe I'll try that out if we do it for the show. But Trials of Mana, what a fun game. What a good remake. Breezy combat. It's a little... it got a little repetitive. The combat doesn't have a lot of variety to it. It's certainly no modern, tons of abilities and moves and stuff. There's a little bit. There's some class changes, though didn't make a huge difference. The story's pretty boring, like most of these Mana games. I don't know. I still played the whole goddamn thing, though, because it's fun and breezy and enjoyable. And the music is just as catchy as ever. Trials of Mana. What a great game. Since I've been sick all week, I did a weird movie marathon, I guess. Sparked off by Glass Onion, probably, of murder, mystery, or crime kind of thrillers and whatnot.
Or like procedurals. You've been on a real procedural kick.
No. The what I've watched has been kind of varied, actually. I started with Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3, which I'd never seen, and it blew my brains off. Has anybody
Did
seen
you
that?
watch the remake?
God, no. I saw the trailer for
Where
the remake and was
John
like,
Where
Travolta
no
John
remake.
fucking
Travolta
thank you.
asks someone to lick his bunghole.
Oh, God. I'll tell you what, I'm sure. I'll tell you what I'm sure the remake does that the original does not, is makes them all like really fucking bombastic characters. Whereas in the original, it's 4 guys with fake mustaches and hats who don't have a lot of lines. They're scary, they do their job, but it's not really about them.
Luis Guzman is one of the henchmen in the remake.
Oh, really?
You
I really
love
enjoyed.
Luis Guzman.
I really enjoyed Jerry Stiller in this. That was
Oh
fun
yeah,
for me.
I know. Weird, right?
Everybody knows that I've watched a ton of Seinfeld in the last few years. I love Seinfeld, so that was
That was
fun.
like before he found his instrument, which is screaming at people about nonsense.
I will say, without spoiling it, if you haven't watched it, you definitely should. The original version was phenomenal.
It's so good.
And ends on the best like freeze frame. I laughed my fucking head off at the freeze frame ending. Like it was hilarious.
I feel like that, like, I don't understand why a lot of older movies end that way. And I feel
It
like
was
maybe it's
perfect.
just like an editing limitation.
No, I don't think so. I think it was just a choice.
We were talking
So
about how
weird.
I always have felt that it was a real tonal shift from the rest of the movie, but
Yeah, for sure.
maybe
I don't
it's
think
to
so, man.
send
I
the
think there's a
audience home
lot
on a
of-
high.
I think there's a lot of underplayed comedy in that movie. It's almost a dark comedy thriller.
Yeah.
I keep hoping one of you will say the name of the movie again because I missed it the first time.
Taking of
But-
Pelham
Taking
1,
of Pelham
2,
1, 2,
3.
3.
Oh.
It was phenomenal.
You
It
know,
blew me away.
train
Although,
heist.
does the original have "Lick My Bunghole, Motherfucker"
No.
from? Okay.
That's, I mean, I'm
I've
never gonna watch
seen-
that.
I have seen both of those, and yeah, one is really good. One is awful.
The other
which-
one has John Travolta saying "Lick my bunghole, motherfucker."
Let's not get too hung up on this because I watched a bunch of movies. I'm just going to kind of list them. We don't need to talk about
Okay.
everyone. I watched All the President's Men, classic,
Amazing.
a lot of fun. Movie just kind of ends. Was a little shocked by how it's just kind of like
came
bye.
out during all that stuff.
Oh, really?
Like, oh yeah.
Let's see. Well, I'm not going to remember them all in order or anything, but I also watched Jumping Jack Flash, Whoopi Goldberg,
fun.
Carol Kane, Annie
I've
Potts.
never seen that, but I did watch a clip yesterday of Whoopi Goldberg farting on live TV on The View.
Well, 80s Whoopi Goldberg was a goddamn comedic genius.
She's still pretty good. I like
That
Whoopi
movie
Goldberg.
does a lot of smart things by just letting her do letting a lot of the jokes just be her facial expressions, and it really works. It's a great movie. It's not a stone cold classic, but it's a damn good movie.
Have you ever seen the movie where she's a detective and her partner is a Tyrannosaurus Rex?
I haven't. Tammy and the T-Rex? You know I watched that, didn't I?
No, it's different. I can't remember
It's
what
Theodore
it's
Rex, I believe.
called. Theodore Rex. That's it.
I watched Beverly Hills Cop, which was a delight. I watched The Nice Guys, which, oh boy,
Amazing movie.
that and Kiss Kiss Bang Bang are just incredible detective noir, dark comedy, thriller. I don't know what to call
I like
them.
The Nice Guys a little bit more, but they're both really good.
I don't think I liked Nice Guys as much when I first saw it. This is the first time I'd seen it in a long time, and I was like, this it blew me away. I thought it was incredible.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I don't know why.
Everybody's
haven't
having
seen
so
it.
much fun in that movie.
I love Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, though.
I watched Hail Caesar.
Never seen that one.
Yeah, I did.
That's a good one. That was a lot of fun.
Is that Coen Brothers?
Yes,
Yeah,
it
it's
is.
Coen.
It's another one that
Never
I
seen
felt
that
like just
one.
kind of petered out in a weird way. But while the story's going, it was engrossing for sure. George Clooney, silly kind of antics, very good movie.
He's good at being silly.
I watched 21 Jump Street. Yes, the newer one. It's very problematic, but it was very funny. Still a funny movie. Lots of little problematic bits, but pretty funny. I don't know. I guess that's it. And maybe some other stuff that I can't remember. But the last thing that I watched was tonight I started Columbo. What do y'all know about Columbo?
Not very much. I know
Quite
the
a bit.
internet's gone crazy for it recently.
Did we talk about it on the show recently?
Seems like.
I know I was saying something was like Columbo.
We were talking. It was the Glass Onion episode. That's where it came
Yeah, the sort of being unassuming and having rich people think you're dumb.
Anyway, so because of that, I found it's streaming on Peacock, which you can watch with commercials even if you don't have if you're not a paying subscriber, which is great for me. I don't care about commercials. And boy, I watched the first episode. Did you guys know that two things that blew me away? One, the first episode of Columbo is directed by Steven Spielberg.
Was this like
up-and-coming
before
Steven.
he did Jaws?
1972.
Oh wow, that's pretty cool.
And the other thing about that is 1972, that first episode is 50 fucking years old. 50. I don't know why that number struck me, but holy shit.
Half a century? That's a long time.
Oh, the other one I watched was Fletch with Chevy Chase. That was fun.
Oof.
I mean,
Woof.
I thought it was fun. I mean, it's got some problematic bits, but all of those 70s comedies.
I've heard
too.
the new Fletch with John Hamm is pretty good. Confess Fletch.
Oh,
I've
really?
heard
Yeah.
it's really good.
I was
It's
eyeballing
actually
it, but
on. It's on my watch list. I'm going to watch it over the weekend.
Yeah. Oh, and one more movie that I wanted to talk about that I watched. Everybody's favorite movie that is absolutely about cannibalism. That's right, I watched The Menu.
Oh, you did. You never said anything.
Oh,
Yay!
he
The
did us a
Menu.
trick.
It was
Did you
about
like it?
cannibalism. I loved it.
Oh,
It's
so
good.
I thought it was fantastic. I laughed. It was funny. It was dark. It was suspenseful. I did not.
I thought
know what was
Anya
going
Taylor
on.
Joy was amazing.
Yep, Anna Taylor Joy is fantastic. I like old Nicholas Holt.
He was
Ralph
great in
Fiennes
it.
was phenomenal. It's a weird mix of like foodie, like lovingly showing these beautiful dishes and talking about them, and then also murder.
I love that
What a
Ralph
fucking
Fiennes was
weird movie.
basically doing a chef version of his serial killer from Red Dragon. Like,
Oh, really?
You're absolutely right.
it was like the same character.
I really sympathize with this character, though. Like it really worked. What a phenomenal movie. And that's how I leveled up. If you guys want to talk about The Menu as well, why don't we do that?
Yeah, I'll go next. I leveled up by. I've been playing a lot of video games lately. I did a whole run through of Mass Effect 3, which is the next game that we're going to play on the show. But I skipped all the cutscenes. It wasn't really in it for the story. I just really wanted a New Game Plus save file on my PS5, so I did that. And that game rules. And I played the Legendary Edition, which I didn't when I played through the game last year. And the DLC for Mass Effect 3 is incredible. Like, all of it is so rewarding and fun and great, and I love it. So I'm excited for us all to talk about that. I also watched The Menu, and I thought it was great. Matt said it. Nicholas Holt is great. Ralph Fiennes doing a serial killer thing. I love the movie, and one of my favorite parts was the sommelier in the restaurant is one of the Sonic guys.
One of the Sonic
That's
guys?
right. From the Sonic
commercials. Yeah.
That's right.
I haven't seen
You
these.
know, I saw your note
Nor
on
have
that,
I.
and I didn't really notice it until you just said it. Now I see it. Yes, he's one of the Sonic guys.
Yeah, that's one of the Sonic guys.
Yeah.
And just the whole cast in that movie is amazing.
Judith Light. It's got Judith
Light's
Light
in it. Yeah, John Leguizamo. Man, just the whole cast is great top to bottom, and that script is amazing. So that's a great movie. I also watched the documentary that's kind of like a pre/kind of current take on January 6th, 2021, by the Andrew Callahan, who is formerly of the YouTube channel All Gas No Breaks, now on Channel 5. But it's about his experiences. He's a YouTuber that got kind of famous by just going to random places, like random conferences, like flat earth conferences and furry conferences and stuff like that. But then started going to more political things, and then just he's so gifted at interviewing people in real time. His channel just exploded, and he did a lot of political rally interviews leading up to January 6th, and they edited it into a documentary that's produced by Tim Heidecker's production company. And it's on HBO Max, and it is very entertaining and very enlightening. It's called This Place Rules on HBO Max. It's so good. And I think that's it for me outside of the game I'm about to spring on all of you. Vanessa, how did you level up?
I just wanted to say real quick, I've been eyeballing that documentary all week because it looks
it's
great.
So good.
Something about it's just, you know how it is. It's that
you like think it's I felt the same way. It's a lot easier to watch than you think.
I mean, he is an incredibly talented interviewer, and for some reason people just will start running their fucking mouths at him and saying the stupidest shit.
He'll put a microphone in front of people and they will just spill their guts to him. It's so weird.
It's weird. Anyway, I'm sorry, Vanessa.
That's all right. How did I level up? I leveled up by finally getting you guys to watch The Menu. That was a big deal for me. I also rewatched it, and I liked it just as much as I had in the theaters. Great movie. That's a 4 out of 4, well, a 3 out of 4 recommendation. I'm not quite sure where Johnny is coming down on it. I also have been streaming a lot of live comedy shows. Why? Let me tell you. Y'all know that one of my bailiwicks, one of the things that sticks in my craw all the time is access, accessibility, access to media, all of that stuff. So I have been following these people who are putting together a streaming online comedy festival because they noticed during COVID that a lot of people who normally couldn't make it to live comedy were participating in Zoom and things like that. And so now they're working to make it a more kind of year-round thing where you can see comedy shows from the comfort of your own home. These people are, of course, British because I have a problem. And that problem is I watch too much British television and comedy. But, as vices go, it's not so bad. So if you're interested in this festival, you can still get a ticket. It goes all through January, and you can see most of the shows that have already gone before. Today I watched a magician named Pete Heat. There have been sort of compilation stand-up shows, and it's been a mix of people I was already a fan of and people I have never heard of, so that's fun. If you go to Next Up Comedy, all you have to do is get their year subscription, and it's only $30, and then you can watch all of their streaming content plus the live shows when they happen. It does, with my time zone, it tends to happen at 3 in the afternoon, which is not necessarily convenient for most working people. But if you have your own office, who can tell what you're doing there? Not me. So I recommend that, and that is it, I think. Oh, I also, these same people are doing an interactive game thing, which I tried out. It's kind of like a collaborative choose your own adventure, and that's called The Company, and you can find it, I'm not sure where. I tweeted about it.
Isn't that a Sondheim musical?
There is a Sondheim musical called Company. It's a great show. My favorite production of it, of course, starred Raul Esparza as Bobby. The titular Company. So that's me. I can't think of anything else interesting I've done. I've been playing Mass Effect. I'm trying to get ready for BioWary by also playing the Legendary Edition so that I have a Shepherd to port into 3.
So you're replaying 1 and 2?
Yes.
1 is okay to replay. 2, there's a lot of pressure.
Do you think so?
You got to keep that whole cast alive.
Still got to play
true.
Danganronpa.
Yes, I haven't forgotten that I need to play Dunga Dunga.
John
It's
played
on
some
my-
because
it's on my
he is
Xbox.
the best. John wins the podcast today.
What did I do?
You know what you did.
I don't know what Johnny did. Johnny, what did you do?
Oh, well,
He
played
played Danganronpa.
You played
I
some
have been
Danganronpa.
playing Danganronpa. I took some screen grabs of it as the PC version is broken though.
Oh no,
And,
why?
at least on my monitor, if you click the point where you're supposed to click on to interact with people is either using the mouse or a controller is 3 inches from what you're actually clicking on. It's really weird.
Oh yeah, I've definitely I've seen that too, where it's just off by a bit.
Yeah.
The things that you can click on do have different, items and people have different
Colors
circles
if you hold
around
down
them.
triangle.
Yeah, so
yeah.
if you look, well, no, but they have different. They also the reticle when you're over it will turn that color either pink or blue. So if you're trying to hit a person but it's still blue, you're not quite on the right spot. That's how.
But it's way off on mine.
Oh, really?
I am
Wow.
clicking an empty space. So I just restarted the Vita version, and you can just tap on people, and it works a lot better.
What about, do you have that fancy gentle mode?
There is a gentle. There was difficulty when I started it, but I'm just playing on normal. It's fine.
Okay.
Anyway, I did go see the menu, and I liked it. I didn't know anything about it. I hadn't seen the trailer or anything. So I was
Other than the fact that
well,
it was
this
about
is-
cannibalism, which Vanessa.
Yeah,
spoiled for
I
us.
assumed it was going to be about cannibalism because I've played enough apocalyptic things, and anytime there's something about a restaurant and it's a little ominous, they're going to be eating people. And was I wrong? You'll have to find out. It's a movie about cannibalism. Anyway,
Not about cannibalism.
I've been
guys,
playing.
all week. Listeners, no. I'm
It's
I'm
a lot
interrupting.
more interesting than that, I promise.
It's much more interesting than that. All week, for weeks and weeks, every day, I've been getting messages from these guys being like, how's that cannibalism movie? You still into cannibalism? It's not about cannibalism. It's so much more than you would expect.
Yeah, it's for a cannibalism movie. There's a lot to it.
Yeah,
It's
a
like
good
it's
point.
more like a psychological horror.
Yeah, the
I think there's a
psychological
lot of
horror of
comedy
eating
to it, though,
people.
as well.
There is, it's like a black comedy. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
it
pretty
reminded
funny to
me
eat people.
in tone of Ready or Not.
Yes.
Yes, I could see that for sure.
Anyway, so I had some time off, and I was like, well, I should download some stuff from Game Pass on PC. So I've been trying a lot of things. I did try Far Cry 5, and I had already installed the PS5 version of Horizon Zero Dawn, so I've been playing both of those, and they're kind of the same game a little bit. Like a map full of things to do, and there's bases to take out. But the thing is, Far Cry 5 has the worst story, while Horizon Zero Dawn has a really fun story.
Yeah.
I wanted to get into Far Cry 5. I couldn't do it. I like the
fun.
premise on the face of it.
It plays really well. Like it's a really good shooter, but the game wrenches control from you so often to like put you into this stupid. Okay, I have a pet peeve in media, and it is stupid Christian cults who, and this is a spoiler for Far Cry 5, but is spoiled by the existence of a sequel game, are correct.
Yeah.
They're a crazy Christian cult that is right. If you ever saw the stupid, awful garbage movie by Bill Paxton called Frailty, it's another crazy Christian person is right, even though he's abusive and awful. And it's like, oh, he was only abusive and awful because he had to be because of the demons. And this one's, oh, he's only abusive and awful because of the coming apocalypse. Ugh, I hate it. As someone who's had some abusive and awful interactions with Christians over the years, I do not want to play games with that. And I hate this game has like a mechanic where it's like the kidnappers are coming, and no matter what you do, I was in a base surrounded by allies, and they still came and kidnapped me. And then you have to deal with like half hour of yelled at with Bible quotes and fuck you, fuck off. Ugh, it makes me so mad because the game's fun otherwise. But Horizon Zero Dawn has virtually identical gameplay, except for the robot dinosaurs, and the plot's
third
actually
person, one's first person. I mean, I would say that I think the Far Cry games are more of a shooter, and the Horizon games are more adventure-y, like a Tomb Raider.
Yeah, like a Zelda or a Tomb Raider, but they're very similar, like with the hunting mechanics and the base mechanics and all that. But I like the gameplay of Far Cry 5 better, because it's less Zelda-y and more shootery, but I enjoy the story of Horizon Zero Dawn, which is pretty rare for me. I don't know. I've been having a hard time with like modern games of enjoying their story, but I think the premise is really neat, and I'd played it for about 5 hours before. I didn't do any of the side quests, and I actually find the side quests are really fun. Like finding the ceramic vessels, the ancient ceramic vessels, is so fun. I don't know why. I love that. And I found the guy who's obsessed with the ancient ceramic vessels, and he's like, trying to extrapolate the meaning, which is a lot like there was I forget what it was, the guy who did like that book on castles and pyramids. He did a book on archaeology where someone found like a house from the 1980s in the like year 3000 and was trying to figure out what everything meant and what they did, and assumed everything was for some kind of ritual. It was pretty fun, but it was a book for kids, but it was a fun book for kids. Anyway, so that was I still enjoy playing Far Cry 5, but Horizon Zero Dawn, I do not turn off the cutscenes. I actually listen to them, and they're so unskippable in Far Cry 5 too, which is the worst.
Yeah, I made it through the first like quadrant or whatever, like the first big area in Far Cry 5, and I just and it was kind of awful. Like, it's just kind of like the plot, like everything that happens with the characters and stuff, like I didn't like it. And so, and then it rolled me into the next area and was like, no, do it all again. And I was like, I don't fucking think so. I think I'm good.
That's about where I ended too.
With Far Cry 5 or with Horizon Zero Dawn, I haven't had to watch someone get dragged and then murdered in front of me, which happens like every 5 minutes in Far Cry 5. And I'm just, games are a little too harrowing now. I feel like, well, just in media in general is really obsessed with like, no, you have to watch this gritty murder. It's gotta be gritty. And
I agree. Everything's like real heavy, dark fucking action. It's kind of gross. Not
it's
everything.
The Last of Us. thing as well.
Yeah, I
Like,
never
oh,
played
yeah.
Last of Us 2, and I don't think I ever will. Like, I'm not
Last of Us
interested.
2 is honestly really good.
Sure,
It, like
great.
they were fun games, and at least it doesn't have. Hopefully, oh no, wait, Last of Us totally had a stupid Christian. They weren't right, at least, but it did have that one like super Christian enclave that you had to rescue a character from.
Last of Us 2. Yeah.
No, Last of Us 1 had that too.
Did
I
they?
haven't played 2. Yeah, when you're playing as the girl, and she's a bit older, and you have to rescue dude from it. I think, or no,
What are you talking about?
in Last
When you
there
play
was
as
like
Ellie in The Last of Us for like a full chapter of the game?
That's not like
Yeah.
a Christian cult, though.
I thought they were, but maybe it's been
No, they're like a
10
cannibal
years.
cult.
Oh, like the
There's
menu.
no reason this can't be the same.
But there's a big Christian contingent in Last of Us 2. It's a
I
big
thought
plot
they
point.
were like spouting Bible quotes at you, but maybe I'm wrong.
I don't think so.
I agree
Okay.
with John.
It's been like 10 years, so I haven't. Anyway, I
I just
also
played it today.
got 2 games on sale. Sorry, this is a long level up, but you know what? I deserve it. Need for Speed Unbound, which will not work because my internet is down. And I think it like downloaded it improperly, and I played it, but buildings were disappearing, and then it crashes every 5 minutes. So I think there's something up. But it seems pretty neat. It's by Criterion, who did the Burnout games, so they know how to do a really good racer. And I also got Dying Light 2, which is really gorgeous. And the story, it's like halfway between Far Cry 5's. You do get to have to watch people get murdered in front of you. It is still harrowing. But that game, the first one and the second one, they both play so well. They're really, really fun. I'll have to play some multiplayer. Anyway, so yeah, that's my level up. Played a lot of games, dipped into some sales, and a lot of stuff on Game Pass. I also made a virtual wrestler who looks eerily like me. Did I put that picture into the chat? I can't remember.
Uh-huh.
What do you think of my virtual wrestler?
It looked eerily like you.
It did.
Because you'd like take a photo and map it over the as a texture over a face. It's really weird. Anyway,
That reminds me that I also started Mass Effect 3 and that my character's name is Nessa.
Yeah, you're role playing as me.
I am playing Nessa.
make
she told me
sure
to.
to smooch. Make sure to smooch
Well,
Hayden.
maybe I accidentally made her a lesbian. So
You're not the first one to try, but you might be the first one to succeed.
it doesn't look very much like Vanessa, but it's just close enough to be a little eerie sometimes. Why is Vanessa
Yeah, I
yelling
made my
at me
shepherd
about-
look a little bit like me too this time, and I have the same experience. I'm like, oh, there's my nose.
Oh, interesting.
Weird.
All right, we're gonna start a special segment.
I'm excited, and we should give listeners the background that you have been hyping this game all day.
Oh, I know. I talked about it on stream today.
Oh,
But this came to me in a
dream.
what's that word?
Vision.
Like where you're struck by inspiration.
A flash of inspiration.
Eureka moment.
Oh,
This is how I'm going to quiz my friends. And it's going to be so fun. You guys are going to have fun with this.
I love it. I love a quiz. I love a chance to show off my niche knowledge.
Oh, yeah. Well, I hope it's as niche as you think it is, because these are some tough ones.
In which case, I love a chance to hear Johnny show off his niche knowledge.
Okay, so let me give a little background to this segment. So, as you all know, for the past couple years, I've been a pretty loyal subscriber to the Video Game History Foundation's monthly. I guess. Well, they send me a retro video game magazine every month.
Right.
And Matt will attest to this. I never open them. They come sealed with a certificate of authenticity, and I've been very hesitant to open any of them. Just because I don't know why, but that has changed. I opened up the first one today because I want to quiz all of my co-hosts about retro games. We're a retro games podcast, essentially. But I really want you guys to show how much you know about basically old video games. But
Almost nothing.
but
sorry.
the twist here is that I'm only going to give you hints related to these games' advertisements in old video game magazines.
Ooh.
So the way this contest will work is that I have picked a game, and just to give you context, all of these games come from the November 1998 issue of Electronic Gaming Monthly. So that's important context.
November
but the way
1998. Okay.
Yes,
I got it.
November 98. So the way this is going to work is each game is worth 20 points. If you answer after the first hint, you get the full 20 points. If you answer after the second hint, that gets downgraded to 10 points. If you answer after the third and final hint, you get 5 points.
Who's keeping score?
I am keeping score.
Okay.
How are we buzzing in?
Any wrong answer disqualifies you from any points for that game. And for this contest, we will have 4 games.
King's Quest IV: The Perils of Rosella.
John, November 1998.
Oh.
And I will say, this first one is intentionally pretty tough.
What?
Okay.
It's the opposite
Guy
of what it
Ritchie.
should be.
So let me explain the system that I use. So since I'm only using full page game advertisements, the first hint is the advertisement tagline. So basically the headline of the ad. The second hint is copy from the ad.
Okay.
The third hint is facts about the game itself. So like maybe the genre or the studio or just other random hints.
Sure.
All right. Are you guys ready to start?
Yes.
Yeah. But are we
Okay.
buzzing in, or does it go round and round?
You know what? Let's go round and round.
Okay.
Okay.
How do you guys want to start? Can you guys decide on an order?
I think John, you should go first.
No, make me go last.
And
Matt, Matt,
so
Vanessa,
you can
Johnny.
So you can pass, but every legitimate answer that's like if you try to answer and it's wrong, you get disqualified from answering this game.
Okay, I see.
Okay? Okay. So, first game. Again, this is the November 1998 issue of Electronic Gaming Monthly. The tagline is, "There is no such thing as a friendly game."
Pass.
All right, Matt passes. Who's next?
Vanessa.
Is it me?
Vanessa? Okay.
I have a guess, but it's probably not right.
It's okay to save it.
Okay, I'll save it for now. Pass.
I'm also passing. That's pretty
Okay.
vague.
Okay. Yeah. A lot of these this is a tougher one, I said. The ones after this are a little bit easier.
I think we should rotate each hint. So now it would be Vanessa, Johnny, Matt.
Okay.
Makes
Okay.
sense. Yeah.
Okay. So hint number 2, this comes from copy from the ad. There are 3 statements here. 1, hustling is the spice of life. 2, swim with the sharks. And 3, you can almost smell the beer.
Ooh. It could still be the game that I'm thinking of. I don't know when this game came out. And
Around 1998.
Well, I mean, yes, I know. I don't know when the game I'm thinking of came out. Could it be? But the beer doesn't quite. What game do you hustle in? Basketball?
Beer? Do you get drunk to play basketball?
I mean, you can.
Beer pong.
Yeah, beer pong.
Was beer pong a thing in 1998?
Beer pong's been a
pong's been
thing
a
since
thing.
since beer.
The 40s. Yeah.
Pong.
Do I swing for the fences or do I play it safe?
It's your call.
You know what? I'm going to swing for the fences.
All right.
Is it Dead or Alive beach volleyball?
It is not. Vanessa is out
the girls
this round.
are teens. They don't get drunk.
Anybody else have a guess?
Oh, yeah, that's me. Pool sharks.
Is that a game?
Sure.
That's your final answer?
Yeah.
That is incorrect.
Wait, I guess
Oh,
I
man.
should have said no since he said, is that a game?
I mean, do I guess now or just play for the 5 points?
You
I'm going
can-
to play
you
for the
can-
5. I'm going to play for the 5.
Yeah.
All right, you're going to play for the 5. All right, so hit number 3 is the genre is sports. The studio is Activision. And the game is a game that you play in a bar. Mostly. Not exclusively in a bar, but mostly in bars.
I think that's an EA game. Sports game with beer, huh? Mm-hmm. But that's because it's
Can we
mostly
help,
played in
Matt?
bars.
Why would
That's
you
a
help
Jim
that?
question.
I guess that's true.
Sorry, what was the question?
I was asking if we could help Matt, but Johnny pointed out that that would be counterproductive to my inevitable victory, so I will not.
I promise it get easier after this. It's a hard one, just so you know the format of the game.
Golden Tee?
That is incorrect.
Damn. All right.
The
what was it?
game is Activision's Pool Hustler for
God
the
damn it.
PS1.
I was so
John,
close.
you were very close.
I knew it had a name like that.
My other
All
guess
right.
was NFL Blitz, so I was way off no matter
Oh,
what.
Blitz would have been a good one. There was no ad for Blitz in the magazine. All right, so you guys ready for the next round? All right, round 2. Hint number 1, this is a tagline from the ad, is praise the Lord and pass the ammunition.
That old chestnut.
November 1998. Praise the Lord and pass the ammunition.
So I guess this is me first, right?
Yeah?
Okay. Messiah.
Incorrect.
No.
Wow. I'm going to pass.
Okay.
What was the year, did you say?
1998.
I will also pass.
Okay. Hint number 2. As Trey Kincaid, nanophysicist and sole defender of the world, it's up to you to defeat the 4 horsemen before it's happy trails
I know this
to
game
us all.
too. Oh.
John probably knows this.
Especially the celebrity actor.
Yep.
God damn it.
Oh, I don't know. I know it's not.
It's okay to pass.
It's not Afterlife, but something like that. Pass.
Matt, how are you feeling?
I'm going to pass as well.
Pass. Okay. Hint 3. This is for 5 points. It features a celebrity protagonist, which John just kind of already gave away. It also, on the soundtrack and in-game, features famous recording artist Poe.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
I do like Poe.
Okay, can I guess now?
Yes.
Is it that game that had Bruce Willis in it?
What's the name of it?
I think it's Armageddon. Oh, that can't be
Close.
right. That
I'll
can't
give
be
you a
right
chance.
because that's the movie that he's in. Apocalypse?
There it is. That's it.
Yeah.
Matt got it for 5 points. So Matt's first on the leaderboard with 5 points.
Wow.
When he said celebrity cameo, I thought it might be that game, but I just was not sure enough.
I was very delighted to see
I
that
played
ad.
that game because it had Bruce
I played it
Willis
too.
as the protagonist. It was not good.
It looked good for a PS1 game. That was the
It
only
did.
really
It did.
interesting part of it.
All right, round 3. Tagline is the worst foe lies within. And just for context, this was a full spread ad, so 2 pages.
Oh wow.
Yeah, big one.
Something with a big budget.
Think like holiday 1998. That might get you in the mindset to think about this game.
These are games that were out at the time then? I guess they would be.
They
because
were either they were probably out or close to release.
about to come out, yeah.
Yeah.
Say the hint again.
The worst foe lies within.
Johnny, I think Vanessa is first after me.
Vanessa's first on the
Oh, I have no idea. Pass.
Okay.
Also pass.
Yeah, I got to pass.
Oh, it was
too.
Johnny.
Okay,
There,
okay.
sorry, Johnny.
So
That's okay.
hint 2. More copy from the ad. The cinematic RPG,
Ooh.
and now she must hunt the killer down or become them.
Oh.
Who's first on this one?
I
Vanessa,
think
right?
it's,
No,
I went
Vanessa
first
was first last
It's
time.
me. I think it's
Oh.
me.
No, it's
Okay,
John.
John.
John, you were first last round because you passed first. I mean, you didn't, but still.
Is it Parasite Eve?
Oh,
It is Parasite Eve.
Oh,
So I
man.
get 10 points.
Yeah, so for hint number 3, I was going to say the studio is Squaresoft. Also, this game, if you bought it back then, included a collector's CD with Xenogears, Bushido Blade 2, Brave Fencer Musashi, and Final Fantasy 8.
I played that more
Demos.
than I
Yeah,
played
that was the
Parasite
first
Eve.
way to get to the demo of Final Fantasy VIII was that part where you're being like going up to fight the spider and then the spider bot chases you through the town.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
pretty cool.
It was cool. Okay, round 4, final round for tonight. Hint number 1, tagline. It's why you started playing RPGs in the first place.
Oh.
Okay. Matthew, this is Matthew's guess.
So it must be a game about podcasting. That's why you started playing RPGs in the first place.
Pass.
Vanessa.
Pass.
I'm going to pass too.
Okay,
It's a
all
little,
right.
not enough info.
I know these taglines are tough. So hint 2, this is ad copy. The first is it's time you met your destiny. More copy. Journey the high seas in search of lost secrets of the ancient Aetherians. Wield weapons so powerful they develop their own intelligence and will. And lastly, a true RPG crafted with the RPG connoisseur in mind.
Johnny?
High seas. Okay. What? So 98. What's something where you went? I mean, Grandia had boats, but I don't think it's Grandia. It would have been the right time for Grandia.
It was around
But-
Grandia time, yeah.
Yeah. I'll pass for now.
I will pass.
I don't like Aetherians is not ringing any kind of bell for me.
Maybe the next
Nor-
hint will lock it up for you guys.
Nor is sailing the high seas. All right, let's get that next hint.
All right, hint number 3. This is a Namco studio game. And it's also an early entry in a series we have played on the show.
I know the series at least now.
I'm gonna guess Suikoden 2.
Incorrect.
Damn. Vanessa.
Suikoden
Is that your final answer?
3.
Incorrect.
Okay, so now it's a guess between two words, because I know the first two words are Tales of. Is it going to
Okay.
be Tales of Symphonia or Tales of... I'm going to guess Tales of Fantasia?
Say that one more time.
Fantasia?
Incorrect. The correct answer is Tales of Destiny.
No, I didn't know that one.
That is the second entry in the Tales series. Came out in 1997, I believe.
Oh, I've never played it.
All right. So after this round, we have Matt with 5 points and John with 10.
Can we do one more?
Yeah, we can do one more.
I'm enjoying this.
Okay.
It is good.
Hold on.
I would say read for 20 points, read the headline and the first line of copy. Just because I
Okay.
feel like we're never going to get it from the headline.
Okay. I will. So I have the magazine open. This is like a lightning round. I'm
does that
going to
mean?
read. It means it's the same as the other rounds. Only I wasn't prepared for it.
Vanessa, you're first this time.
Okay.
All right.
So I have a full spread ad open, 2 pages, and I'm going to read the headline in the first line of copy, minus any giveaways in the ad. So I'm going to do that right now.
Okay, I'm ready.
Headline is "Let Them Eat Lead," and the copy says, "Travel through time in an all-new adventure exclusively for the PlayStation game console." I'm going to continue reading because that's not very descriptive.
Uh-huh.
In this revolutionary third-person shooter, X-Person annihilates ancient Rome, conquers the Dark Ages, tames the Wild West, and lights up L.A., proving once more that the only good alien is a dead one.
Ooh, I know this.
Ah.
If Johnny
Oh,
knows
but
it, then I'm just going
It's
to have
actually
to take a swing.
tricky. But yeah,
Yeah,
let's
there's
hear
a lot of these
Vanessa's.
games.
Yeah.
Time Cop?
Close, but no.
There's no aliens in Time Cop.
I don't know. I don't play video games. How am I supposed
There's
to
no
know?
basement in the Alamo. I'm going to guess Duke Nukem : A Time to Kill.
That is correct.
Wow.
Oh, man. I feel like I got to give John a full 20 for that one.
Yeah, Johnny is the undisputed champion of this game, for
That's
sure.
true.
Wow. Good job,
Congratulations
John.
on your win, John.
So,
That was
so,
a
by the
bad
way,
game.
It's a bad game. This is, I would like to continue doing this. I have a mini retro gaming magazine. So what I was talking to Vanessa about before we started recording was I was thinking we could do this for a set amount of time, and whoever is a winner at the end gets a special prize to be
Oh.
revealed on air.
Ooh.
Yeah. So right now the standings are Vanessa with a big old goose egg.
Wow.
Meh.
Matt is in second place with 5 points. And John with a commanding lead at 30 points.
Woo. So we're going to reset. I mean, I just get one win. I wouldn't keep. That's not fair to
Well,
Vanessa.
no,
to
the
keep it.
point tally keeps going.
All right. All right.
All
Point
right.
tally keeps going. So you guys got to get more competitive. But I call this game Full Page Failure.
Ooh, that's a good name.
Yeah. So that is the inaugural episode of Full Page Failure. We'll continue this in subsequent episodes. You guys
So
might want to
who's
study up
failing,
on your old
us
gaming ads.
or the games?
What's that?
Who's failing here, us or the games?
The advertisements are failing.
Yeah, that's true. I'm
I thought it
surprised
was
that
me.
the Parasite Eve one wasn't hornier because that was like the late 90s and with a game with a girl protagonist. It should have been
You know
like,
what? I didn't pick any of them out, but there were at least probably 2 or 3 ads in this episode or in this issue of EGM that had horny Laura Croft ad copy. One was "There's no nude code." It was for Tomb Raider 3, and it's like, we've improved everything, but still no nude code. But it was still very prominently on Laura Croft's boobs.
and I think that was that the wetsuit one or was that 2? Where they're all about her
That's
wetsuit?
2. There was another ad for a game called, I almost put this in the thing, but I figured it was a little too esoteric. There's a game called World Domination, and the ad copy says, "Stood up by a blonde, carpet bomb Sweden." Ooh.
Ooh.
Yikes.
All right. Time for us to talk about the quest log.
Yeah, let's get in the quest log.
Woohoo!
Woo.
All
Well,
right.
I'm into it. Like, so much happened.
There is a lot in this chunker. There's the so if you remember last time, we finally got to meet out of their suits Mumcar and Fiora. They're still alive. They have robot bodies now. What does this mean sexually? I guess
What?
we'll find out. What?
Oh,
What?
I didn't quite realize that was where we were going with this, but I guess all the signs were there.
Yeah. I mean, he's, now got a robot girlfriend or boyfriend if he decides to hook up with Mumcar.
They must vibrate.
I mean, attachments and such.
Mm-hmm.
I remember that one hilarious episode of Red Dwarf where Crichton attached a vacuum cleaner to his crotch to vacuum things.
I feel like I never quite understood exactly what was happening with Red Dwarf and why it was a thing, but I did like that man with the H on his forehead. He was kind of
Yeah,
cute.
he did seem like a Vanessa boyfriend. We
Yeah.
didn't talk about how Tyler the food critic seemed like a Vanessa boyfriend.
Who now?
Tyler the food critic. Oh, he wasn't a critic. He's more of a food connoisseur.
Are you talking about Nicholas Holt's character?
He was a foodie, but like an obsessive foodie.
Yeah. He would take Vanessa out to a nice dinner, the last
Yeah.
best meal she'll ever have.
Mm,
She'll probably
I mean-
die, though.
the thing is, I have been accused in the past of being, I can't be posh because I'm American, and that's not something Americans can do. I would say that my cultural capital often exceeds my actual capital, in the sense that I don't go to a lot of, prefix 5-course menus, but I sure would like to. Yeah, I'd totally date that guy.
Hmm. He also looks like an American version of a younger American Benedict Cumberbatch.
Benedict Cumberbatch, yeah.
Nicholas
Yeah.
Holt?
Yeah, a little.
He's an American.
Oh, is he? I don't. He had an American accent. I haven't seen him in
He
anything
did
else.
in this film, but yes, he is British. Oh, what's that movie coming out that he's going to be in?
Renfield.
Yeah, that looks so good.
It
Yeah, it
does
does.
good.
We are entering the age of Holt here, and I'm not mad about it.
I like Nicholas Holt as
I've
well.
been
He's
in
fun.
the age of Holt since what's that? What's the Mad Max movie that came out?
Fury Road.
Oh, right.
Fury Road. Yeah, he
I
was
did
so
not.
good in that.
I did not like him in those X-Men movies, but I did not like anybody in those X-Men movies,
Yeah.
except for Michael Fassbender.
You like people who bend fasces. So,
I liked those movies because it was a lot of cute boys. Not shallow.
oh,
He was very good as Knox in Fury Road, though.
was that
Witness me!
Oh yeah, okay,
Yeah.
that's who that was. I did not recognize him from that. I have to watch that again. I want to get that on like a 4K
So good.
Blu-ray.
So we walk into Sword Valley and we meet Dixon there.
So Sword Valley is like the indentation in that sword that's on the one that the Bionis is stabbing the Mechonis with.
Yeah.
You're like on this. I think that's really cool.
Yeah. The sword is a bridge between the bodies, and you're walking through the center of it, I guess. Maybe the sword, I don't know. It's a big
The sword has like a little
sword.
divot. Yeah. Little divot-y thing.
But we run into Dixon, and he's like, tell me everything that happened. And you do.
Dixon seems to know a lot more than he's letting on.
Yeah, he just pops up all the time.
Yep, he's a real asshole. Just tell us what's up, dude. Like, our lives are in danger.
I
Why
hate
are
his
you-
outfit so much.
Yeah, he also looks
That
like a
David
fucking
Crosby
idiot.
looking dum-dum.
Yeah.
Hate it.
He looks like a fucking old, washed-out Axl Rose. It's not good.
Yeah, you're right.
Except for not, like, actual old, washed-out Axl Rose.
Well, yeah, that's a little different. But he does have that like not out of the 70s fashion sense. It's definitely a distinct design.
I
I
guess.
want you to turn off. So this valley that we're in is full of big robots, like
Yeah, this is
real
Robot
big
Town.
robots. Yeah, we're getting towards so if you remember the beginning of the game, this is where we saw that cutscene with everybody just fighting. Like that's where Mumcar got maybe killed and Dunban was fighting hordes of robots. It was here. And so
was it
Dunban
really?
does-
I did not realize that.
Yeah. That's why they keep talking about the Battle of Sword Valley, which was the last big.
Oh, yeah, you're right. They do
offensive
say that
against-
a bunch. I'm dumb.
Yeah. So there's a bunch of little gates you got to open, and you got to open them by going through these little Halo
Why
style
does this
tiny.
sword have a bunch of little gates on it? Do swords usually have 10 tiny
yeah.
gates on them? With
Yeah,
little
giant
fortresses
swords.
next to each one?
Yeah. Yeah.
This one is
You
it's
just
pretty
can't
dumb.
see them because they're so tiny. But this
That makes
sword is so
sense.
big, you can see them.
It's kind of dumb. It's just like a thing to slow down this area, which is pretty straightforward. It's a straight line
And they
down
do
a valley.
feel like Halo bases. Like they look like Halo bases.
They do feel a bit like Halo bases, yeah.
Yeah. Real small, like a 2-story, and they're all identical. There's usually like a named monster or named robot, I guess in this case, somewhere
Yeah,
in
I
them.
got some surprise quests that were like, kill this robot while you're here. And I was like, well, I'm killing everything, so I don't care. I definitely have flipped it over to easy at this point, though, so killing everything is easy.
I'm not having. I'm a little over leveled because I went back and did way more side quests. So,
It's the Mechon shit. It makes me nuts. I don't like it. I don't like the enchant thing. I know that the guide said that if you buy weapons before you talk to Dixon, they have like anti-Mechon stuff on them, so it makes you have to use enchant less, which I'm sure is handy. But like, I just don't have the patience for it. I don't want to complain too much, but I don't find the combat in this game. I don't find it particularly bad, but I also don't find it particularly interesting. It's just kind of there.
I think it's fun, but I think that it gets the later series do it better. Like they have more kinds of combos you can do, not just the one. I feel like that's a weakness of this one. Is that
If I
it's
could
sort of-
control that better, I would like it a lot more too. Like, it does not feel very fixed.
yeah, I like her using her different elementals. That's pretty fun.
I like keeping
Once I
her in the
figure it out.
party, and I like using her stuff in the triple attack thing. That's what this area, and pretty much I'm guessing the rest of the game comes down to, is spamming that fucking ultra attack where everybody gets to attack, and maybe you'll get to hit B if you, I don't know, do good enough and do a fourth attack, a fifth attack.
One thing I
et cetera.
don't understand is what triggers the add-on to
I
do
don't know.
another round? Because sometimes you get that B prompt. I couldn't figure out if it's to do with what attacks you choose or how much damage you do, or I don't know. I
Or how
wish that
fast
was a
you
bit
do it,
clearer.
maybe?
Yeah,
I really
maybe.
don't know.
Because sometimes I'm like, oh, I've got, this is my 5th attack. Sometimes it's my 9th attack. And sometimes it just ends after 3, and I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't either. But this area is all full of Mechon, and we have to unlock these gates, kind of attack these little forts and unlock the gates, and then at one point you have to unlock the lock so that you can unlock the gate, which was great. Thanks for that.
So yeah, this is I like the look of this area. I think it's pretty cool. I mean, it's your usual dark, dusty, late game RPG area, but I had fun.
Yeah, you're on
I think
sword.
the coolest enemy was the one that had these like tentacles, like a who's
Yeah.
the bad guy from Spider-Man
Things
2?
from the Matrix, Dr. Octopus.
Yeah, those Dr. Octopus, or the Matrix. That was a really cool monster too. And they're kind of independent targets. So yeah, you go through there and you see that the Galahad Fortress is coming up. You go to the next zone and it's called was it the Mechonis factory or something? And that's where the Galahad Fortress is. And you do get a cutscene here, and I can't remember what that cutscene was. Oh, that's the Mumcar fight. That's it. Yeah, Mumcar
But we
shows
already
up.
fought Mumcar.
Yeah, he comes back again. And Dunvan's like, "You jerk. How could you have killed my sister?" And Mumcar's like, "Oh yeah, your sister. It felt so good plunging my blades into her." He's real evil.
Yeah,
I feel like
that's what
Dunvan
gross
should have
do.
chose better friends. Like he should have thought about that.
I don't know why, but just by the time we hit this point, I've had enough of this fucking voice actor. I don't want to have to listen to him
Well,
anymore.
I don't think you have to worry much about him after this. This very scene, because he goes to fight you and he's super powered up now, but just not powered up enough. And now you've got the super powered up Monado and you're full of anger because this is the guy. But so you're beating up Mumcar and he seems to be doing pretty well in the fight. And Dunvan's like, "Okay, let's do it. Let's finish it." And Shulk's like, "Actually, hold up a sec. I think, now that we know there's people inside these mechons, at least the face ones, we can't just kill them because they're people, and I don't want to be a murderer. So
It's
let's
not
not
Dunban.
do it."
I thought it was Shulk that says that. Shulk wanted
Dunban wants to
kill him. Shulk
but
is
Shulk
like,
is
nah.
like, "Yeah, we're not. I don't want to be that. Let's
this is
figure
a
out
good-
another way."
This is a good time to talk about the fact that we are regularly killing sentient beings, mostly for their fucking skin, so that we can get gifts.
Or bags, or masks. It's some of those
Yeah,
side
but-
quests are pretty rough.
These Hums are racists. Like, they only value Hum lives and not the lives of any other kind of species.
It's like humanoid, or like, because it's not just they seem to get along fine with the Hyentia. I mean, they're not good friends, but that's because of politics, not because of racial hatred. And they get along with the little guys live in their cities. What are they called? The Pashules, I think.
Pashul.
They're not called
the
Pashules.
What are they called? Johnny?
Yes, they are. Right.
The Nopon.
The Nopon.
No pond.
So, but yeah, pretty much anything else, even though they seem to have their own little societies and use tools, and we just kill them willy-nilly. But we get to this point, and Shulk's like, "We can't kill Mumcar." Listen, this is where the game lost me. I don't have a lot of patience for this. Kill that
I like
motherfucker. He's a monster. He is a robot man who has been killing your friends and family. And as if that was not enough, he's also a soldier in an army of other robots who are planning to wipe out your entire species. You're good to kill this fucking guy. It's okay. You're
I think
ethically sound.
I think this game is, especially as you find out later, it's about sort of exploring why you shouldn't just blindly hate and murder. And that seems to be a theme of this game.
It's not okay. That might be a good point, but it's not
Yeah.
blind hatred or murder to kill fucking Mumcar at this point. It's
It
just
is
flat
murder.
out justice. He is
This
a
is
Mumcar
fucking
deserves
monster,
a trial.
and you are the only person that can stop him. And the only way you can stop him is by killing him with your fucking Monado. That's it.
Well, I think we've ripped off the arms of his thing, and he's barely like
Yeah.
his machine's all
Apprehend him. Take him to
Apprehend
court.
him. We're not cops.
Provide
There is
him
no
with a
justice
zealous
system that we're aware
advocate
of.
to defend
We've
him.
seen no police. We've seen no judges.
I guess that's true. We
And
haven't seen
again,
any
you
kind
are
of indication
at
of a justice
war.
system in this place.
You are at war with these robots. You are justified.
That's why these war crime rules exist, Matt. You can't just go around.
It's not a war
killing
crime to
unarmed
kill an enemy
prisoners.
soldier. That's well,
Out
I guess.
of combat, it is.
I guess we did rip his arms off, so
Yeah.
maybe they wanted. My read was not so much that they were going to execute him as they were just going to kill him in the fight. But I guess if you look at it from that perspective,
He was already disabled, pretty much.
Disabled?
Disabled. Like his mech was disabled. It was broken.
He had been debilitated.
Debilitated, de-armified.
So
There's a
He
word
had
for
been
that, but I don't
dearmed.
know it.
He was
Disarmed.
unarmed. He was an
was
unarmed
disarmed.
man.
Well, his mech was disarmed. However, he does. He hates the idea of being spared. He's like, "Oh, you're gonna goody two shoes me. Well, you can't do that." And he does rush forward to attack. However, this does cause Spire to collapse and pretty much impale him and knock him off into a Disney death. He dies a Disney death just like that last guy did, falling forever and ever.
And
The
isn't
end.
that better than having plunged your blade into his wet little throat?
Exactly.
That's a good lesson for all of us.
I
Spare
love
your
the way you
enemies
described
and
that.
Oh, thank you. Spare your enemies and they will die a Disney death.
Plunge my blade into your wet throat.
Your soaking wet throat.
Well,
Gonna split it open.
when he's in the
Jeff.
game, the tip of the Monado was at his throat at one point.
Yes. There's
There
a lot
was
of
a
swords
there was a
at
great
throats.
there was a great fold out ad in this issue of EGM that showed a red streak with a person's face that said viewpoint from your enemy's vocal cords.
Oh,
And then
God.
when you unfolded it, there was a ton of copy. I think it was like Tengu something. It was
Tenchu?
Yes, it was a Tenchu game. Yeah.
Those are fun.
Mm-hmm.
They are. I mean, they're PS1 bloody, so now it just looks adorable.
One of my favorite things about preparing for that game was reading all of the hype copy for these games where it's like spectacular lighting effects, and it was like some gross looking PS1 like gun.
I think PS1 really was the worst because the
I love
polygon
PS1.
graphics they were using were a step down, in my opinion, from like the really nice 16-bit graphics that had developed.
They were
think it was just
really
neat
trying
watching-
hard for, yeah.
Watching games get better looking, like I think there's some really cool, like Metal Gear and Vagrant Story, both do really cool things with the limitations of the console. And I don't know, and it's just nostalgia. Like I was
You're a
18.
famous PS1 apologist, though.
I love the PS1.
One
It's
of
my favorite
the ads
console.
one of the ads I almost put in the game was for Nightmare Creatures, which
not a good
one
game.
had great ad copy and two is a pretty good game. Another game I almost put in, which is a game that I played a ton of, was Wild 9. And Wild 9 had some of the wildest ad copy, which was like the biggest boss ever put in a video game. It was pretty crazy.
Yeah, that stuff's fun.
So
I
Momcar-
think I've said it before, but N64 PS1 was like a lot of those games were just visual static to me, basically. Like I could not play them.
And I've said before, I love it. So
You just said it. You just said that. So I don't know why
Said
you
it
feel like you
before
got
and
to
he
one
said
up
it
me.
again.
I love it.
Because he's a famous apologist. Like I said, he has to. His
I
reputation
have to get the last
maintain.
word, and it has to be. It's great. Galahad Fortress. It's a teeny little dungeon, only like 3 rooms. You have
Yeah.
to unlock things. One thing that I didn't get all the side stuff here because I thought I would be able to go back, but I don't think you're able to go back to this one.
Yeah, when I was writing the notes for this, the guides were all saying like, "Get all this shit now," and I was like, "Well, Too late.
It's too
I ain't
late.
going
Yeah,
back.
Because this fortress is a Marvel-style collapsible fortress, so you don't want to. You
Marvel?
want to get everything. Yeah, and all those Marvel movies, they always end with like a floating fortress that collapses.
Huh.
You know,
All
like,
of them.
Black Widow and the one of
Age of
those
Ultron.
Avengers. Yeah, a lot of that.
That's a good
Those are
point,
the
I
only
guess.
two I can think of.
Oh, maybe
Winter
there
Soldier
are
has
only two.
3 ships that are kind of fortress ships that all kind of
Oh,
fall.
yeah. And I guess maybe the first Guardians has a ship that crashes. Or
Yeah.
lands.
Yeah.
Did Ego blow up? I can't remember in Guardians 2.
Probably.
Ego, the living planet?
Yeah.
Kurt Russell?
Yeah, they were inside a planet.
All right. Anyway, this dungeon is small, and we unlock things, and we turn power on to unlock other things. It's all pretty rote, but it's short. But quickly at the end, we run into Fiora in her... What is the name of her mech? Is she Goldface? No, she's like Ravager Face or like Eradicator
White
Face.
face?
Lady face?
She has an adjective for her.
Oh.
She has an adjective for her name. It's not a color. Anyway, we run into Fiora again, along with a couple other face mechs, and they kind of have a moral quandary over this. They do not want to fight Fiora. We fight the guys that are with her, and then Fiora, we get a chance to talk to her, but she does not recognize any of us. So we just kind of run. We do a run.
And she's like, we got good reasons for doing what we're doing here, and she's trying to she's being fair. She's not being like genocidal. Yeah, but we do make a run for it, and unfortunately run into Egil, who's got the gold face. And
Egil, the living planet?
Egil, not the living planet.
Egil, the living robot.
And he turns the switch to off on the Monado, which is...
Yeah. He jams it, which I guess is an idea. I'm not a fan of this Monado thing, to be honest with you. I've said that. But yeah, he jams your Monado, so great. He's got that plot armor. Can't get me yet.
Yeah, and
I
I do
your
like...
sword.
Is it in this chunk or the last chunker where they're talking about how it is the sword the Bionis is holding, and it's out of reality, so it only looks like it fits into Shulk's hand? I don't know. I find all that stuff pretty cool. Yeah, I like that kind of thing. So we can't kill him, and then we can't
Egil.
because the thing's not working, and then he cruelly is because Fiora's refusing to attack, and he's like, I can control you just like I can control anyone. Any of these Mechon are under my control, so watch this. And he makes her move like a puppet. It's sad and eerie, and she starts attacking, and she can't control it. So now you have to fight her and him, and the point of this fight is to damage him enough so that... and is it the power of love? How does he get the Monado to work again? I can't remember.
He just fights through it. He breaks through the jamming. Yeah, with willpower.
Yeah.
He has
crying.
he sees Zanza, I think, in a vision, and Zanza's like, nobody can stop you from using this. So basically this whole thing is a mental fake out somehow.
Yeah. And she, using the power of love and willpower, also is I'm going to overcome this control. And it's so dramatic. And the music is swelling. And the opera singer, anytime the opera singer's back, I love it so much, Vanessa.
I know.
That opera singer, she's so loud. She's louder than the voice actors, which is a problem in the mix. But it's great. Because they're like, we're gonna fight. Exactly. Oh, it's so great. And everyone's just screaming, but she's even louder. And the Eagle's like, no! How could the power of love or whatever do this? And then, for some reason, the base falls apart like a Marvel movie. And everybody plummets to their deaths.
Yep, they all fall down. The end. End the game.
End.
That's why you should never leave your starting village. It's
Well,
cold,
that's why you
cool
should
world out
never
there.
build a big floating base. And if you are going to build a
true.
big floating base, don't destroy the thing that keeps the big floating base airborne.
Or like have a backup system. Make a
Jetpacks.
backup.
Jetpacks.
Make a jetpack.
Parachute.
So Fiora rebels
parachute.
and stops Egil from killing us. He unleashed a big attack called, I think, Catastrophe.
Ooh.
And he tries to kill us. Fiora stops him. But then this all plays out slowly, I think, because doesn't Shulk have a vision of it happening first? I got to tell you, the vision thing is also starting to rub me raw because it is just fucking the same thing every time. The vision happens, and then Shulk watches it happen again.
What is the... There is a vision that he doesn't tell people about this time, and I can't remember what it was. I know
Yes,
Vanessa and I
he's
both complained
promised
about
so
it.
many times to tell people about his visions, and then he's just like, I'm not gonna tell them.
So she falls off the arm, just like old Mumkar did. But Shulk jumps after her.
And then we wake up on a beach. Now, I believe this is the first time we are on the planet itself. We're not on the Bionis or the Mechonis. We're just on a beach. And
But
We
This
are.
beach.
This area is called the Fallen Arm. It is
Yeah.
the arm of one of these things, I believe the
right,
Mechonis.
but you see the arm jutting out of the earth. Like there are points
we're
where
standing
you're
on the arm.
some of it's the arm, like the fingers and stuff are there, but I think the arm is on the ground.
I think it's water. I think that the planet is. I think everything around them, the Mechon and the Bionis, is water.
I don't know.
It's all ocean, right?
Is it?
Well,
I
there
don't know.
must
To me, it
be
looked
an
like
ocean floor, I suppose.
it
Yeah.
looked like the
That's what they're
arm had
standing
fallen onto like some ground and the ocean, but I could be wrong. Maybe because there's some earth, but the earth could have just built up as sediment around the arm. I don't know.
And is it the Mechonis arm or the Bionis arm?
This is the Bionis' arm that got
So the
severed
Bionis arm,
in
the
fight.
Bionis has earth on it, all over the place.
Okay. So this is like
Does
a
the
floating
Mechonis not?
island arm.
The Mechonis is all mechanical.
Oh.
And
That's why it's called a Mechonis.
Shulk wakes up. He's obsessed with Fiora. He's crying. He's running around. And then the first thing he sees is Fiora's mech just sparking on the ground there. And he runs up to it and sees her. And she's barely alive. And he needs to get her some fresh water. So he goes exploring to get some fresh water, which he does find. And brings it back to her, nurses her back to life a bit. And right then is when, was it just runs into some more Mechon? Is that what happens? Or is it?
Yeah, you do a little fighting, and then you kind of get off the beach and into the, I don't know, the Mechonis's, or the
At
whatever.
this point, you can equip stuff on Fiora again, which is great.
Yeah.
I also
That's how you know it's a real party member.
all those like Mechonis battling items are just super weak, so I just stuck with like the good weapons and then just made sure to have Shulk in the party. to
It
cast
seemed like
enchant.
Shulk, Fiora, and what's her face, the High Intia queen lady. It seemed like you did
Malia.
not need to use enchant for them to be able to attack.
Yeah, I think Fiora can just attack Mechon herself.
She has
Oh,
Mechon
interesting.
weapons.
Yeah.
So that was my party from here on out because fuck using that enchant action. Fuck that. Thank you. Fuck it.
You know, if you have Shulk in your party as a side character, he'll usually cast it. But then once or twice he didn't, and it was super annoying. It's like, come on and cast enchant, cast enchant.
I just have a problem with the reset because it takes like 2 minutes before you can fucking use it again, but you're getting into fights every 10 seconds. So it's like you'll
He
get
has
into
an
the next
ability
fight.
that fills half the gauge right away, but it does take half his HP.
Yeah, so you will stand around for part of the fight watching your guys not be able to do anything except for Shulk unless you have party members that don't need the enchant thing on them.
But I mean, there's a lot of enemies in this half that are not Mechon, so you can just fight them anyways.
There's
But
a
it kinda-
bit here
yeah.
where Fiora is like, she's having trouble continuing. Shulk wants her to rest. She's not feeling good, basically. She's sick. And they have a talk about, I don't know, Dunban. Whatever. And then they get ambushed. Mm-hmm. And it cuts to...
Ryan, and Ryan's there, and he finds Charla, and they're a fun duo. They are
Yeah.
kind of flirting, and she's like, her way of flirting is always, "You remind me of my missing and probably dead fiance."
Yeah.
And he's always like, so it's
That's
just about
hot.
him, huh?
There's definitely a will they, won't they kind of vibe between those two.
I don't know that there is. It seems
I
more
think there
like a
is.
he'd like to, she doesn't care.
No, I think
I don't
she's
know,
into him.
she's-
She
she's
compliments
into
him
him.
and helps him and talks to him. I think there's a lot there.
Well, yeah, anytime a woman compliments someone and then talks to them, obviously means they're interested and should be construed that way.
A
But I mean, she's
compliment is,
supportive in a way
leaning
that-
towards it.
I know, I'm joking.
She's supportive in a way, I think,
Joking.
that goes beyond just being friendly. Anyway, you get to... Rain is the main character here, which is fun. Ryan, which is fun.
Yeah.
But not for long,
And-
because you do run into Shulk and Fiora and save the day almost immediately.
Everyone's super happy that Fiora suddenly remembers who they are. There's actually a really good talk. I think it's on the beach. It might have been on the beach or where Shulk's talking about how there was another person inside Fiora, and
yeah.
she was the one controlling him, and she could hear it, but it was like she was just like captive. And he's like, "Well, I'm glad she's dead." And Fiora's like, "Actually, she wasn't all bad. She was just different. It was,
Yeah.
it was someone else." So that must have been who she was talking to. Remember when Fiora was talking to herself, kind of?
Yeah.
So it must have been like the two sides of Fiora.
Yeah.
And
Shulk is just jealous because someone else was up inside her.
So we cut again to Dunban and Ricky. And
The
whatever, they
two-
chat a bit about Fiora and Ricky hungry. Ugh.
Ricky hungry.
This is great. I like Ricky being especially since Dunvan's kind of like the serious one of the party. This is
Right.
a fun
Sounds
duo.
like Russian Winnie the Pooh. It makes me crazy and I hate
I
it.
love Ricky so much.
I
He's
like
so
this
fun.
conversation because he starts talking about how Dunban is a good daddy pawn. And then he's like, Ricky make mistake. Dunban is not daddy pawn, but Dunban is like daddy pawn.
Yeah, it's creepy.
Yeah, really
Oh, no,
leads
I-
into the
I
daddy
liked it.
material.
Well, it's because Dunvan. This is where after they're walking again, and Ricky says he needs to take a break, and he's tired and hungry. And Dunvan's like, "Oh, you weren't actually tired, were you?" Because Ricky was like, "I'll go scout out and look for food." And Dunvan's like, "I thought you were tired." And Ricky's like, "I'm feeling better now." And Dunvan says, "Oh, I see. You were wanting to let Fiora take a break. You're a good father." And that's when they start talking about that. Now, I have dressed. Vanessa has taken the glamour approach, like Final Fantasy. Well, that's what it's called in Final Fantasy 14. You can wear your armor and whatever is good, but then glamour on different items so you can like keep the look of your character the same.
I love
There's-
that. I think every game should do that.
I like that this game has the option to, because I like seeing the ridiculous armor, and now I have Ricky in like full plate mail. So he's got like his little cute little bun face sticking out of this like round armor. It looks amazing. I'll have
And
to
I, of
put a
course,
picture of
refuse
it.
to dress Ricky in clothing.
He is 100% naked, not even little pants.
No, he's 100% nude all the time for me.
You find there's someone that runs into you, and it's a robot person, and they have a butt head that looks like a butt. I believe this is Lenata. And she's like, yeah, I'm a Mechon. And you're like, but I thought the Mechon were evil. And she's like, well, I'm not evil, am I? We're just the people of Mechonis, like Homs and the rest of you are the people of Bionis. So stop being a bigot, you dum-dum.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like...
And they are shocked by this news.
Yeah, they never heard of that. So they invite us to their village, which they call Junks.
They call themselves the Machina, not Mechon,
Oh.
not Mechon. It's a way of differentiating between themselves and the Mechon. And yes, the town that they live in is called Junks.
I guess it is like bits that have fallen off the two.
Yeah, it's all the way down on, like, we're still on the arm, right?
Yeah. We're below the arm. This is the arm that fell off.
Yeah, we're on the, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
We're on the fallen arm.
Yes.
Because
that may be
around
floating...
Junk seems to be in the palm of the hand.
Mm-hmm. Yes, exactly. That's
Are we sure it's the Bionis arm? Why would the Machina live on the
maybe
in
it is
the palm of the Bionis?
You have to Google that. Go check out the Xeno wiki.
Who's the time?
Who has the time?
I can't even look up how to do the power attacks right. So
yeah, you know what? I should watch a YouTube explainer video on that.
Fill me in.
So they say that there's a couple of other Homs that have fallen and lived back in the Battle of Sword Valley that now live there, and she's like, hey, do you want us to meet the chief? And the chief is a big chubby robot.
He looks
He's
like
so big.
he looks like Baron Harkonnen. Like he's fucking huge.
He reminds me of who's
Not new
the
Baron Harkonnen, old Baron Harkonnen.
who was the guy that did the what was that? Oh yeah, from Rogue Galaxy, the guy who commanded the ship. He looks like that guy kind of, Barbarossa or whatever his name was.
Yeah, maybe.
Right.
Yeah. But he's a robot and has these like little, you know how robots in anime have like little glowing circle gems on them? He's got 3 on each side of his face, and I don't have this too bad. You know the thing of like how creepy wasp nests look because they have all the holes?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This gets me. I can't look at his face because of the holes in the side.
Oh.
It is a little
Oh,
weird.
it's so creepy.
By the way,
What's
they
that
call
called?
this
Tryptophobia, something like that?
Yeah, that's it.
by the way, they call this area that the chief is in the cockpit, which is weird. What's a weird name for something that's in the palm of a hand in a town called Junks? Why is your building like what?
Wish I had a cockpit in the palm of my hand.
Did the Bionis
know
have
what
a
that means.
cockpit? Cockpit? That's what I call my wife. Sorry.
Wow. Yikes.
I like how that just made us all sad.
Well, I'm not
We're
married.
not angry. We're just sad.
Hey, come on. It's not that far from the joke you made.
Yes, but I'm allowed to objectify men because misandry is still permissible.
So he's like, hey, oh yeah, well first Lenata's like, BT dubs, so you know that Fiore's body is a robot. She's got a robot body.
She's got
I
the way
assume-
she describes it, actually, it's a little Barty horror-ish because she doesn't say that they replaced her body with robots. She says that they replaced her organs with robot parts.
Yeah, she talks explicitly about how she's missing a lot of organs.
Cool.
And she's like, and there's been a lot of damage to her Mechon parts. And she's like, Charla, can you help me? Because you know about Hom biology. Can you help me do surgery? I need your help keeping the rest of her human organs okay while I do fixes and BIOS upgrades on her robot parts. And she's like, yeah, sure. Do you think that her chest opens up and fires missiles like an anime robot?
No,
Oh.
I think that she still has like her own skin and like muscle.
I don't think so. I think her body's like a Kling Klang robot.
You think so?
Vanessa, what do you
Yeah.
think?
I don't think she has skin under her robot parts.
Oh, I thought that was just a suit. Her clothes can change. What happens if
Oh,
you
yeah,
put her
she's
in the-
also-
Can't wear like normal people clothes anymore. She can
That's
only wear
true.
robot clothes.
That's true.
And Shulk was very worried that she hadn't eaten anything, and she's like, "Oh, actually,
Oh, yeah.
I
but
don't
that-
eat anymore."
Yeah, I said I think her insides are robot. She like a Terminator.
I think her outside's a robot too. I think she's an Aegis, but with like a human, like a RoboCop. I think she's as human as a RoboCop.
Okay.
She's got. Remember, like when you see RoboCop out of his suit and he's just like lungs.
There's also an important plot point here. We talked to the chief, and the chief informs us that Egil is his son. Egil?
Yeah.
What?
Cool.
And he asks us to kill him.
Yeah, he's like he's beyond redemption now. He's super evil. Sorry. And it
Yeah,
was like
sorry about all the super evil he's been doing.
he has. I guess there was something that had happened that turned him against the Bionis totally. There was some attack or something, and he's now 100% against Homs and all Bionis. And if he's allowed to continue what he's doing, he'll destroy all life on the planet.
Yep, that's
Yeah.
his plan, is to eradicate all biotic life.
Doesn't
It's
seem
a
cool
it's a
or
real
good.
Sephiroth plan, or even a Seymour plan, or
Maybe we'll get
a-
more of this guy, or there will be somebody behind him that's good, but I would say so far the villains in this game are thumbs down. This Egil guy is not interesting.
Well, you don't know much about him yet. Maybe
That's
he
true.
gets more interesting.
That's true. That's what I said. I said maybe it'll
Yeah.
change.
Yeah.
I mean, by this
cut
point in
to-
Final Fantasy VII, I knew Sephiroth's fucking pant size. Like, you know everything about that dude.
Cut to Hyentia, and they're trying to. You've got what's his face, Killian, there, and he's trying to form an army with all of the Homs and the Poshules, and he's talking with what's his name, Crosby, Stills and Nash,
Dixon,
Dixon, and also the chief knows Dixon too. Everyone knows Dixon.
hang on. Well, we'll get there because we find that out when Dixon fucking
okay.
walks through the door,
Yeah, so
which is
and-
after this cutscene, basically. Because Dixon just kind of walks out on this meeting. And then,
Yeah,
I don't
he's
know,
like-
some head of the human resistance is like, is giving the Hyentia guy shit, but then it's like, well, I don't know, maybe we can work together.
Well, because they're upset that the Hyentia didn't do anything during these attacks that killed most of the human colonies, and there's only 2 colonies left, and one we're just rebuilding on our own.
Yeah,
Which
they're
I've been
rightfully angry
having
about
fun.
that.
I put in some nice gardens. I have found there is a mechanic where you can talk to people and that say they don't like living where they're living and recruit them to
Oh,
live.
yeah, I found one of those guys too.
Yeah. Oh, I love this kind of stuff. It's like I think that's a really fun side questy mini.
Yeah,
It's
I
not
wish
quite
it was a
minigame.
little bit more accessible with like
Yeah.
either giving you a map location of where the stuff is that you need to collect or
Yeah, I
giving you
had to
more
go
options
through
to get those things.
I had to go through the wiki to get those, and even then, like there is one of the first level things is this fossil monkey, and you need 2 of those, and it took me hours to get one, even with the locations because they're like a low chance, like a super rare spawn to get. It's like, don't make these super rare. I don't want to spend hours going through these possible locations they might be in. That was
I think that I
crappy.
did read that with the like edition that we're playing, the fancy new edition, you can at some point buy these items.
Yeah,
from the
from
time
that
trial
that
guide?
time. Yeah, I guess I have to finish more of those trials because I haven't. There's no shop there for me that will sell
Yeah,
them
it
yet.
said that you can buy them once you return to a particular location in the game, like end game point, I think.
Oh, okay. That's good. At least they do let you cut through and not have to do the waiting for things. Like that's one of my big problems with MMOs is, or any game where you have to get 5 bear pelts, right? I
Yeah.
think that they should always give you a bear pelt.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I agree with that.
Yeah, don't
I
waste my
hate this
time.
like random. Oh, it's a 5% chance of dropping this bear pelt you need. No, I'm not. Like that's what Destiny does, and all those MMOs do. and I don't like
But
it.
that's because MMOs want to keep you playing. Like, that's their business model. But there's no reason to keep someone playing a single-player game beyond the
Right.
amount of time they want to play it. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
Horizon Forbidden West did that as well, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I guess you need like for the better armor
You
and
could
stuff.
buy
you
a
need
lot of that
hearts.
stuff. You need random, like, bits from things that you can buy at the cities.
It did. I was trying to get. It was a really frustrating situation I was in Horizon Zero West this week, where I was needing resources to make a bigger resource pouch, but the resource that I had to find was like bunny skin or bunny bones or something, and it just wasn't dropping. And then I kept having a too full of a resource pouch and had to keep selling stuff to get the thing to get the bigger resource pouch, and it just took forever. And it
It's
was
a horrible
very
loop.
frustrating. Yeah.
That's
I did finally,
capitalism for
once
you.
I got it, then I like already had the stuff to make 2 more sizes of resource pouches, so it was great. And I also got that fast travel for free anytime thing the minute it was available. I went and hunted some boars or whatever to get the belt for that, because I wasn't going to keep crafting those things. But thank you for telling me to keep trying it, Matt and Vanessa. I am really enjoying Horizon
great.
Zero Dawn now.
So back to
Happy to hear
Lanata.
it.
She explains to us that she needs a piezoelectric unit.
Yeah. It's a, a thing. It's
A
a
thing.
What do you call those? Like in a game where it's just a thing that is a plot
fetch
device.
A
A
MacGuffin.
MacGuffin.
A MacGuffin, yeah. It's a MacGuffin that'll help her regulate her organs and stuff. So we go get that. And I found this zone around the fingers really hard. Like, there are some very difficult enemy encounters here.
Really?
that to kinda run from.
It was down the Sword Valley at first. I was kind of getting my butt kicked, and I was really frustrated. But I just started running into every enemy I saw. And by the time I got here, I was leveled up enough that this stuff wasn't a problem.
I got a surprise quest on the sword arm to kill one of those big giant mechons. And I went back and did that after this, and that was fun. That was a good fight once I was ready for it. But yeah, I
What's
had
the
to be a
deal
few
with
levels.
those surprise quests? Like, you're wandering around and then it just pops up, surprise quest.
Yeah, that basically
what's
you
with
don't
that?
have to talk to a quest giver. You don't have to do them. There's no time limit on them unless it's a zone like the Galahad Fortress that disappears. But it's just like a random quest. Oh, hey, if you want to do a quest now, you can do it. I don't think
But, like,
they
what's the in-game lore? What explanation?
there is
for
none.
Why I'm
and
getting these?
I believe there are none of those definitely in Xenoblade 2. There's no more surprise quests. So I think it's just something that they were experimenting with and then gave up on later.
We need the piezoelectric unit, and we go get it. Ain't much to that. Go get the thing. We get back and talk to... Lanata wants us to go talk to some guy who wants us to, I don't know, fight. He gives us a bunch of fight enemies quests. And then while she is fixing Fiora up. So that happens, and this is when Dixon just kind of fucking walks into town.
Yeah.
They all know Dixon. Dixon knows all of them. I feel like he kind of gives us an explanation here along the lines of, oh, my tummy hurts, so I couldn't explain to you about these Mechonis people.
Right.
And then we get a cutscene of Egil. Mm-hmm. He's angry, and he keeps saying that it's impossible that Fiora broke control, and then he decides that it must have been her memories that did it, and that he just must eradicate the human personality entirely from his face Mechon, and he calls in a special Mechon. He thinks about Charla,
Godot?
and he calls in a special Mechon, and basically is like, "You're her boyfriend, right?" And he's like, "Yeah." And so he eradicates the human personality inside of Charlotte's boyfriend, Mechon. Godot. And sends him after us.
This is a good cliffhanger. I hope we
Yeah.
don't have to kill Charla's boyfriend.
I mean,
Me
we definitely are going to have to kill Charlotte's boyfriend, but probably it'll be a Disney
No.
death.
I assume
cut-
so.
We cut back to Lanata. Fiora's all fixed up, and she gives us the key to get into the next area. She gives us some hope. She says that she may be able to replicate Hom organs and replace them, that she may be able to restore Fiora, but she's not
Why,
sure.
what's wrong with... I mean, she's fine. She's super powerful and a robot girl. Like, she's a RoboCop. What's wrong with just keeping her the way she is?
Should probably ask about her feelings in that situation, you know?
Yeah, maybe she
I
likes
think
being a
that she
RoboCop.
does talk about wanting her human
Yeah.
body back, or about what's going to happen when she has her human body back, and how she
mean,
Is she
Hulk
just
are
mad
gonna
because
totally
every time
make
she
out.
walks, it sounds like a kazoo?
Does
I can
RoboCop
barely
want to
hear you,
stay a
Johnny, I'm sorry.
RoboCop, or does RoboCop want to be a real boy again? That's the end of the quest log. Where are we playing to next time?
Yay.
Are we finishing the game?
Uh-huh.
Wow.
Whoa,
are
the end of
finishing
Xenoblade Chronicles.
Wait, are we? Are we finishing the game, Vanessa? I thought it was going to be two
Well,
more
I
chunks
don't
after
know.
this.
Are we?
I don't know.
I think it might be 2 more chunks.
Boy,
All
what
right, we'll
a
do 2
fucking
more
podcast
chunks.
this is. Are we finishing the game next time? Yeah. Wait, are we? I don't know.
What? None of
Well,
us
we
have
don't wanna
played this
play
game
too
before.
much.
Yeah, we'll try. We'll try for 8 hours. So either we finish the game or we don't. We'll let
Yeah,
you
I
know
would say
as soon.
that probably ending at the end of the machine capital is a good place to
And
end
then
if
the
we're going
last
to do
episode
2
will
more
be the
chunks.
ending. Yeah, that sounds great.
Great. Who wants to talk
Great.
about some great side quests that they played? I don't.
I do.
So, go ahead.
I had a side quest to go get a rock from the top of this very tall corkscrew in the Bionis Lake area. But I couldn't get there because there was someone in the way. His name was Immovable Gonzalez.
Yay!
Immovable Gonzalez is a baboon. He's very, very huge. And he's level 90, which is not something that I am in a position to fight. And I'm hoping is not something I'll ever be in a position to fight if I'm able to finish this game without grinding that much. So I was like, I don't know what to do. Immovable Gonzalez is in my way. There's no way past this baboon. But in fact, there is. I had to go through caves and climb down walls and all these cliffs and things like that. And finally got to a point where I could go up right behind Immovable Gonzalez. It's not much of a side quest, but it amused me a lot that there's just this guy there. His name is Immovable. He's too
I
level
brought him up in the
fight.
first episode, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He's in the first area, yeah.
But you don't have
He's in
to
the second
actually
area.
fight him. He's just hanging out.
I tried running past
He's
him a few
pretty
times
great.
and it did not work.
He's
Yeah,
a
you can't
cool
run
looking
past him.
dude.
But you can sneak around him.
Yeah.
But there's a side quest to unlock a passage, right? Behind him.
A passage?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you get
'cause-
some TNT or something and blow up
Yeah.
a blockage on one of the ramps behind him.
Yes.
Yeah, and then you can sneak up the little spiral ramp behind him.
Oh, is that what happened? See, I wasn't like paying attention to why I could suddenly do this, or I just assumed I always could, I guess. But I must
Reading
have
the
done
side
that
quest
at the side
dialogue.
quest as well.
It's not worth your time.
Reading the
I
side quest
love
dialogue
it.
is not worth my time. I agree, Matt. Thank you.
Johnny, do you have a quest you want to talk about?
Sure.
Oh, I did have a quest I wanted to talk about.
Oh.
Go ahead, John.
I just really quick wanted to talk about rebuilding Colony 6. I have, after the ice area. Oh, there is a secret area in the ice area that you have to like go down a slide and make a rad jump to climbing vines. Oh, that was so fun. I loved it. And then, but rebuilding Colony 6, I did have to go to like special spawning points of the ice area to get all these items. But now the city's looking pretty good. The only person I found to recruit to the colony so far is like 2 Hyentia people in that fancy castle area. That's the only place I found people to recruit so far. So yeah, but I love rebuilding the town. I do wish it was deeper and more like something like Soul Blazer, where you sort of find it through more fun in-game activities and opening chests and stuff. I do think grinding these items sucks, but I like building a town. I think I've said that before, and I'm gonna say it again. Building a town is fun. What's your quest, Matthew?
You get it at the end here in the in Junks, or you get it from one of the side quests that you get in Junks, where you're asked to take some sandwiches to some boys on the tip of one of the fingers. And one of the boys is very despondent. And if you talk to him, he tells you that he's in love with a Mechon girl and that she's a soldier who is stationed way high up the Bionis, and he needs to prove his love to her because he's afraid that she's going to forget about him. And for that, he needs the coolest thing on the planet, which is I don't remember what it is. It's a gem or a key or a something. And it only shows up way up at the very tippy top of one of the fingers when there's a thunderstorm. The problem is he is terrified of heights. This poor Mechon boy is too scared of heights to go get it for himself. So he asked you to do it. And I went and got it and took it back to him. And he said, great, thank you, I love you. Now go take it to my girlfriend, who's even way higher up. And she actually is in our next quest area. Or the one after that, maybe. So I won't get too deep into that. But yeah, that was my side quest. I went and delivered this ring, basically, or diamond for a Mechon boy to a Mechon girl. It was kind of cute. It was funny to me that he was scared of heights. He's too scared to do it. He couldn't even go visit her because he was so scared of heights. He could not do it. What was that, John?
I'm going to switch back to... I think I've charged them enough that I can finish the show.
All right.
1 sec.
So, anyway, let's talk about what we are squarely against, shall we?
Yeah.
Vanessa.
I guess I'm sort of roundly for the little color that all of these side quests add to the world, even though I just admitted to not always reading the text. I do think they did a good job of giving everyone a personality and making them, some of them have very trivial problems, some of them have serious problems, and it's just kind of fun to interact with people in that way. It makes it feel pretty alive. Mm-hmm. Like, not everybody is just obsessed with you saving the world or whatever it is you're trying to do. Life goes on. Mm-hmm. Jim, what are you squarely against?
I'm roundly for all of the lore we're discovering about this game. I want to learn all there is to know about the Mechonis and the Bionis. I think that is probably the coolest part of this game.
It's interesting. Yeah, it's a little bit different than things we've seen before. And
well, whenever there's like a big giant corpse, I always wonder, what's up with that corpse?
Yeah. What's with that guy?
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I do like the idea that these people just live on them exclusively.
Yeah, that's neat.
It is neat. It's neat.
John, what are you squarely against?
I am squarely against... let's see... I don't know if I'm roundly for or squarely against it, but just how the graphics break in the ice zone when you use the jet of water, it really destroys the game. It looks so cheap and bad, but I kind of enjoy it. It really looks like a early PS2 RPG at some point. I mean, it was on the Wii originally, so you can sort of see that coming through at some points. And I'm roundly for, you know what? I think it's 3 times in a row. That music, that dramatic music is so good. And also, you know what I'm roundly for that's new? Is when you got to Mechon, the battle music changed. There's new battle music.
Oh,
And that's pretty fun. And the boss fight music on Mechon has that opera singer lady as well, which is great because, this game doesn't have enough voices of people shouting at you when you're fighting. And so it's really good to add another one. So yeah, I like the new Mechon battle theme. It's pretty rad. That's the one that sounds like a KMFDM song when it starts. It's like... Oh, it's really good.
That music is fucking fantastic. I absolutely agree with you. The battle music in this chunker was like I was humming it for days.
Yeah, it's real good. All right. I think that's it for Squarely Against.
I am squarely against.
Except for Matthews.
I am squarely against. So once you get Fiora and the other girl in your party, not Charlotte, what's her name? Miriam?
Malia?
Malia. Once you get Malia and Fiora in your party, this is what I'm squarely against. There is a recurring bit of end combat dialogue where Shulk is like, wow, y'all did great. And one of them is like, why shouldn't we do great? Because we're girls? And the other one is like, you have a lot to learn about women. And I've now heard that about 6,000 times, and I hate it. I hate it. I hate it.
I'll be honest, I mostly play this game on mute while I'm watching my British TV shows and enjoying some light entertainment. So I miss a lot of that color dialogue, but I think that's okay.
Yeah, like I'll definitely have something on when I'm grinding and like trying to find stuff for Colony 6. But I usually keep it on like quiet enough when so I can hear the battle comments, because especially if you do swap out members all the time, they say something different every time. And that's
if I
fun.
were watching TV alone, I would do that, but sometimes I am not.
Mm-hmm. I'm looking at one of those, those $300 Lego sets.
Uh-huh.
I'm looking at someone, an ad or the catalog thing on the Lego website, and it's showing like a fully grown up man, like sitting in this very fancy apartment putting it together. I guess they are for grown ups. Like
you
those
think babies can afford that stuff?
I don't know. Anyway,
I
moving
got
on.
myself a $90 Lego set for Christmas. That's a true
Who wants
story.
to talk about the Patreon?
Oh, Jim does.
Jim
Oh
loves
man,
it.
I always do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're not playing the game.
Okay. Well, we have a Patreon. You can subscribe at patreon.com/squarerootspodcast. Within that sweet Patreon, we have so much content. If you subscribe at the $3 level, you get access to all that great content. In December, we played a fun Jeopardy game with John. We also talked about Glass Onion, the very great Ryan Johnson Netflix whodunit. We've got a lot of other great content on there. Some Level Up podcasts. We talk about some movies. I made everyone watch the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which everybody loved. Just a lot of really good content on there. At the $5 level, you get access to all that sweet content, plus the ability to vote on games that we play for the show. We're going to continue that into 2023. And yeah, it's a good time for everybody. Another benefit of being a patron is we like to personally thank some of our patrons every week. I'm going to kick us off this week by thanking John Scala, Mary Queen of Scoffs, David Arnold, Gage Lacharite, Ian Frederick, Huxley Iguana, Andy M, Justin Rash, Lex of Ariel, Dova Keynes, Discount Dragon Barn, Grey Code, and Ross Hartley.
And I would like to thank Julie. I know her in real life. Rachel, Megan Sullivan, Saving Sid's Nuts, Oh No Kyle, Kristen Ingram, Amanda Douglas, David Shook, Shin Megami Tensei 3 in 2023, maybe, 69 Love Songs, and Star Drifter That I Wish You Saw.
I would like to thank Eric Pidkamy, Chris Pinyak, Welcome to Cute Boy Jail, Hong Kong, Dr. Fine Say Everyone's Name, Ward Childress, Zeno Gussie 2 Esquire, Justin Ham, Hudson Roth, Kodab Games, Keesby Knight, Florian Jonas Kramer, and Seth G.
I'd like to thank Aiden Marriott, mostly rational person. Jim is the sweet one. Aww. Rubber Bear, Teen Wolfhard Bumpkins, Sexy Grandma's Boy Toy is Johnny Five Alive, Jake Dickerson, Arm and Hammer, Joshua Broxson, Sergeant Spaghetti, Butts on Parade, Sean Walsh, and you know who's last, but definitely not least, Tracy. Was it Tracy's birthday this
It was
past
Tracy's
week?
birthday
it was
recently,
this weekend.
Yeah.
Yay! Oh, but this is Tracy with an I. It's not Tracy with a Y.
Oh.
So sorry, Tracy with an I. It's not
Happy
your birthday.
belated and or early birthday.
Yeah, exactly.
And happy birthday, Tracy.
All right, well, that's
Blessed
it for
to have two
this.
Tracy's, really.
That's it for this episode of Square Roots. If you'd like to have an email read on the air, you can email us at squarerootspodcast@gmail.com. Come see us at our Facebook group, the Square Roots Podcast Group for smart, cool, very attractive people, or find us on Twitter at Square Roots Pod.
Good ep. What a good ep. Oh, right.
It was a
I have
great
things to
ep.
say. Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe on iTunes, Ghana, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Like, if it's Spotify, you can find the rest of the episodes that aren't on Spotify by just going to squareroots.libsyn.com. And thanks to Stephen Morris for our Square Roots theme. You can find Stephen on Twitter as Beige on Beige and on YouTube. Links in the show notes.
All right, for Square Roots, I'm Jim Banks.
I'm Matthew Van Zant.
I am Johnny Brandon.
I'm Vanessa.
Bye.
How was that Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special?
Oh, I liked it. I
Did you?
enjoyed
Should I
it.
watch
And
it?
it had my...
Should I watch it?
Yes, you should. It had my very favorite Christmas song in it, Christmas is Almost Here, written for Saturday Night Live. That's a spoiler for that special.
I didn't know that. Yeah, I liked it a lot too. I thought it was fun how it was just kind of Drax and Mantis. I really liked that. Fun little diversion with just some of the characters, you know? Fun. Okay,
I guess
anyway.
since we're talking about the age of Holt, we should also talk about the age of Batista.
He's in a lot of things right now.
He is in a lot of things right now. I don't know. I think he's a very good actor. I just don't know that he's ever gonna. I don't think he's. I don't wanna
In the
get
bonus episode, last month's bonus episode, Matthew said he was my age. I am much closer in age to John Cena, who is 2 years older than me,
I don't know their ages. I was guessing.
while Batista is 10 years older than me.
I like
Oh, is
Batista a
he that
lot. I
old?
don't know that he's a leading man guy. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
that's okay. Nobody, not everyone needs to be a leading man guy. You know me, I much prefer not a B actor, a character actor.
You love it, like a Raul Esparza.
I freaking love a character actor. I can't get enough of them. I just want to eat them up like jelly beans.
Ugh,
Num, num,
okay.
num.
This is getting
Uh-huh,
cannibalism.
uh-huh. And Vanessa, one more thing, Vanessa. What are the names
Yeah.
of your 3 husbands?
Chris. It's all Chris.
It's all Chris.
Well, there's a man you eat like a jelly bean and a man you marry, and that's not my fault.